Welcome, everybody, to the Sunday edition of the Huddle Hub Podcast. My name is Metal Mike, and today we are going to do the next player spotlight segment with Larry Fitzgerald. Let me start that over. My gosh, it is a Sunday morning. It's a beautiful day out. It's, 85 degrees out right now? Something like that. We got to start this over, okay? Welcome, everybody, to the Sunday edition of the Huddle Hub Podcast. My name is Metal Mike, and today we are doing our next edition of Player Spotlight. We are going to be talking about former wide receiver of the Arizona Cardinals, Hall of Famer, All-Pro, Larry Fitzgerald. We are also going to be talking about the UFL United Bowl from yesterday, and we're going to talk about all the news coming out of the world of football. Before we do that, please make sure you head over to the Huddle Hub Podcast over on social media, over on TikTok, Instagram, TikTok, Instagram, X, and on Epic Studios at the Huddle Hub Pod. You're going to hit that follow button over on the YouTube. You're going to hit that subscribe button. That's how you follow on YouTube. And, of course, over on Twitch at the Huddle Hub Podcast. All of our social media outlets are in the Twitch bio. Just click on the one you desire to go to, because I know not everybody uses all social media outlets, and help us build the Huddle Hub Podcast through the rest of the 2026 NFL offseason and beyond. So, as we know, yesterday was a lot of people wouldn't consider it a day of champions. Okay. And when you look at it in any type of major sport, regardless of what it is, if a championship is on the line, it's their championship day. Okay. Now, yesterday, as we know, the United Bowl, the UFL championship. So it was championship Saturday for the UFL. But not only that, later on last night, you could have considered it to be Championship Saturday for the NBA. Why? Because if the Knicks won, they get crowned NBA champions. If the Spurs won, we move on to Game 6. Now, I'm not an NBA guy. I haven't been an NBA guy for over 25 years. The last time I watched an NBA game was the 2001 finals. Sixers-Lakers. That's it. I grew away from the NBA. I have nothing against it. Of course, I can't have anything against it. I don't watch it. So I wouldn't have a horse in the race when it comes to arguing about the NBA, good or bad. There's things that drew me away from it, and there's things that I do dislike about it. But if I were to sit and argue with somebody about the NBA, I lose. I automatically lose because I don't watch it. You know what I mean? Like, that's like if somebody that, doesn't watch college football tries arguing with somebody that does and tries to argue different facts and opinions and all that stuff. It's like, think about that. You don't watch college football. So how can you argue something when you don't pay attention to it or watch it? Because I pay attention to what's going on in all sports. There's just sports that I don't watch. I don't watch golf, but I, ear length, listen to what's going on in golf. We got the World Cup going on right now. It's soccer. I don't watch soccer. But I know the World Cup is the biggest event in soccer. I keep an ear length of listening to what's going on, but I don't watch it. So I can't sit here and talk bad or realistically good about it because that's me giving my opinion on something I don't watch. That goes just like, I'm a fan of The Walking Dead. I've watched every episode. Every episode of The Walking Dead, every episode of Fear the Walking Dead, Dead City, Daryl Dixon, The Ones Who Live, The World Beyond. Watched every episode. That's just like if somebody that stopped watching or has never watched tries arguing with me about it. Why would you try and argue? You haven't watched it. Oh, well, I read the comics. So? The comics are completely different than what the TV show gives. I think I've made my point. Anyways. So yesterday, Championship Saturday for the UFL, United Bowl. And then the NBA, I guess you can consider that Championship Saturday because if the Knicks won, which they did, the NBA champion was crowned. So congratulations to the New York Knicks for capturing their first NBA championship in 53 years. 1973 was the last time the New York Knicks won the NBA Finals. So congratulations to them. Now, this is another thing I want to talk about. Okay? This is the next thing that I want to talk about, and that is the celebration. Now, last year, if you were here last year after the NBA Finals, me and John had a swift discussion about the celebration. Okay? Oklahoma City wins the NBA Finals last year. And did I turn it on to watch the celebration? Yes, because I was curious because I knew the NBA was on somewhat of a downfall in viewership, and I knew things were not going too well with TV ratings and stuff like that. I was like, I kind of want to see why this is happening, and I want to watch the celebration. I want to watch the championship celebration. That is what I was more curious about. Because when you watch the Super Bowl, huge celebration, team goes nuts, everybody comes running on the field, great trophy celebration, college football national championship, same thing. Okay. Then you get to baseball, World Series, team goes nuts after winning the final game. Everybody comes on the field. Like, it's a spectacle. The celebration alone is just a spectacle. Okay? So we get to last year's NBA championship. Oklahoma City wins. The players acted like it was just another regular season game. The trophy presentation was like, oh, here you go. Oh, cool, thanks. That was it. There was nothing, no emotions. Just like, oh, yep, oh, we don't play tomorrow. That's right. Cool, this season's over. We just won the NBA Finals. There was no excitement. Crazy. Like, it just felt like the end of a game on television. Your local news is coming up. Like, why? How did it get to this? Because when I watched 20-some years ago, the celebration was crazy good. Like, it made you feel like you just seen a team win the NBA Finals. I mean, even college basketball for the national championship, excitement. Like, it felt like a championship. So fast forward to last night, the New York Knicks. And one of two reasons why I turned the last 2 minutes of the game on was, number one, to see if the Knicks pulled it out, because it was a fairly close score at the point when I turned it on. It was like a 3-point game. It was a 3-point game. I think it was like 82 to 80 or something like that. And I'm like, number one, watching the Knicks make history and win their first NBA Finals in 53 years is, it's just something to experience. It's those little moments that you experience that can mean something, right? Number two, I wanted to see how the players reacted. I wanted to see if they reacted better than Oklahoma City last year. And boy, did they. The New York Knicks made it felt like, those players made it feel like an NBA Finals, an NBA championship. The way they celebrate, you've seen guys crying. Like, they made it feel like a team just accomplished what they were set to accomplish. And then they went 15-1 in their last 16 games. 15-1 in their last 16 games. And their biggest feat of coming back from 29 points down in game 4 to go up 3-1. Storybook. The New York Knicks last night, watching how emotional the players got after winning, watching the emotions on the stage when they raised the trophy, it was like, this is what it should be and feel when a team wins the NBA championship. Now, was it anything like it was back 20-some years ago? No. But there was two things I was looking for: excitement and emotions. Now, I know excitement is an emotion, but what I mean by it is, it's been 53 years since your franchise just won the NBA championship. I better see tears. Because when the Eagles won their first Super Bowl back at Super Bowl 52, there were tears. Okay? I want to see tears, and I want to see guys getting excited. That's all I wanted to see. And that's what happened. So, again, congratulations to the New York Knicks for winning their first NBA championship in 53 years. The city of New York, I bet was popping last night. It had to have been. That city had to have been going nuts. Now, a couple weeks ago, when San Antonio was in the Western Conference Finals, there was people going live on TikTok after the game, after one of the games, and just acting like a fool. Like, number one, why would you record yourself doing stupid shit? I don't get that. Why would you go live doing stupid shit? Like, I get it. Your team just won a game. You're one game away from going to the NBA Finals. But be smart. Like, think a little bit. Why would you go live doing stupid stuff? I don't get it. But anyways, yesterday we did crown another champion, and that was in the United Bowl, the UFL championship game between the Louisville Kings and DC Defenders. Now, I'm going to say this. Again, a lot of people don't know about the UFL, have never watched the UFL, never gave the UFL a chance, or talk crap about the UFL, but yet have never seen the product. Watch it. Watch it, and I promise your feelings will change slightly. I'm not telling you that they're going to change, fully, but yesterday's game was the perfect game for a football fan to experience the UFL for the first time. You had the 3-seeded Louisville Kings against the 4-seeded DC Defenders. Now, this game took place at Audi Field in Washington, D.C., so it was a very heavy DC Defender fan base that was there. And Louisville was considered the home team. Now, Louisville finished the season 6-4. DC finished the season 5-5. Last week, Louisville beats St. Louis, the Battlehawks, to move to 7, and that's why they're 7-4. DC beat Orlando to move to 6-5, and then DC loses yesterday to move 6-6. Kings are 8-4. The Louisville Kings win the UFL championship, the United Bowl, 27-20 yesterday in a magnificent game. Great game between these two teams. Great game. Again, if you were experiencing the UFL for the first time yesterday, it was the perfect game to be watching. Box scores from yesterday, DC Defenders were up 3-0 at the end of the first quarter. At halftime, they were up 16-7. We get out of the third quarter, and it was 16-13 going into the fourth. And then the Defenders only put up 4 points in the fourth quarter to score 20. The Louisville Kings, though, put up 14 points to score 27 as the Louisville Kings win 27-20. Some of the stats from some of the players here first for the DC Defenders at quarterback, E.J. Perry. Now, E.J. Perry had to come in after starting quarterback Jason Bean went down. Jason Bean went 3 of 8 for 19 yards, 37.5 completion percentage, 45.8 rating. E.J. Perry then came in 5 of 12, 50 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, 41.7%, 19.4 rating. Chandler Rogers for the Kings, 9 of 7, 81 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 52.9 percentage, and a 26.5 rating. All of the scoring for the Louisville Kings, 14 of the points were from on the ground. Running back Eden Wheeler, 10 of 81 for 1 touchdown, 44 yards long. with 8.1 average of yards. James Robinson went 16 for 69 yards, 1 touchdown, 19 yards is his longest. 4.3 was his average. And then Chandler Rogers, the quarterback, ran 7 times for 32 yards. 11 yards was his longest. 4.6 average. I mean, yeah, again, all the scoring was basically either done on the ground or on defense for the Louisville Kings. Because the Kings did have an interception, and they did. I don't remember if they scored on defense or not. No, everything else was special teams. That's right. Everything else was special teams, but on defense they had 2 Jaheim Thomas had 4 solo tackles, 2 breakups. As far as turnovers, though, Cameron Danzler had an interception. That was the only interception for the Kings. And for the DC Defenders, there was 2 interceptions by Kai Gray. There was a couple fumbles in this game as well. A couple fumbles were in this game. Keaton Ellis and Corey Mayfield, both from the Kings, forced fumbles. And the Defenders didn't force any. And that was the crucial point of this game for the DC Defenders offense. Because, you weren't putting many yards in the air. You weren't. I mean, you hear the quarterback stats. Your starting quarterback couldn't get over 25 yards throwing the ball. And on top of that, you had a lead going into halftime to where you probably should have won this game. And the Kings went into halftime. They straightened things out. And they came out firing. To come back and win this game. I mean, you were up 16-7 at the half. And even them scoring in the third quarter, you're up 16-13. DC let this game slip away from them. Now, if DC would have won, it would have been their second straight UFL championship, because it's the third ever UFL championship. It would have been their second straight. But instead, the Louisville Kings, in their first inaugural season, win their first UFL championship. So congratulations to the Louisville Kings for winning the UFL championship, the United Bowl. Top yardage by an offensive player yesterday, Xavier Valladay. 4 carries, 111 yards, 1 touchdown. His longest was 54 yards. He averaged 27.8 yards. It's crazy. He was the offensive leader of the game. And if you want to go offensive leader for the Louisville Kings, Ian Wheeler, he ran 10 carries, 81 yards. Touchdown, 44 is his longest, 8.1 averaged. So he led that team, the Louisville Kings, in yards. So the UFL season has officially come to an end. Congratulations to the Louisville Kings. We had 2 champions crowned yesterday. Louisville Kings in the UFL and the New York Knicks in the NBA. And as far as the UFL Pick Challenge, of course, we got to end it. And I ended up having the Kings yesterday. I finished 23-20. John finished 24-19. That's how the Pick Challenge ended. And, I lost by 1. 1 stinking game. Came so close to winning this Pick Challenge, but it's okay. Congratulations to John for winning the UFL Pick Challenge until next year. So, and until next year for the UFL, hey, I mean, it's done. It's over. The season is over. So, crazy. Guys, we're going to take about a 30 to 45 second break, and then we're going to come back and we are going to do the news coming out of the world of football after this. All right, guys, make sure you're heading over to the Huddle Podcast over on social media after I get off air here today. Following us on TikTok, Instagram, X, and on Epic Studios at the Huddle Hub Pod. You're going to hit the subscribe button over on the YouTube, and of course, over on the Twitch channel. You're going to hit that follow button. All of our social media outlets are in the Twitch bio. You just click on the one you desire to go to because I know not everybody uses every social media, and help us build the Huddle Hub Podcast through the rest of the 2026 NFL offseason and beyond. So we're going to get into the news coming out of the world of football. Not a lot of news to talk about, but and it's kind of some sad news this week. Like, there was really nothing too uplifting about this news this week. So we're going to just fly through this so we can get to our player spotlight segment, because I don't want to start the day where everything's so gloomy. So we're just going to fly through this. That's it. Former offensive lineman of the Detroit Lions, Frank Ragnow, he mentioned that he's been reflecting on his abrupt retirement, but he aborted his comeback thoughts. Doesn't plan on coming back. Okay. Stephon Diggs, free agent wide receiver Stephon Diggs. The league has closed their review on Stephon Diggs on his situation involving his former chef. No discipline will be taken from the league. Okay. Jonathan Cooper, linebacker of the Denver Broncos, Jonathan Cooper was arrested on Thursday night by Parker, Colorado police and was in custody of the Douglas County Police Friday morning on multiple charges. He also broke a protection order placed on him earlier in the week. This is the second time in a week that he was arrested. The accounts were 2 domestic and 1 harassment by phone call. Come on, man. What are these players doing? Like, I don't get it. You are an NFL player, and I get it. You live a normal life. You're a human being, all that stuff. But understand the position you're in professionally. Just stop doing stupid stuff. It's that simple. I get it. You want to go out and have fun and enjoy life and live life and all that stuff. Be smart about it. In the past 2 months, we've heard about like 4 players getting arrested for domestic or harassment or breaking some type of court-ordered law. I mean, Rashid Rice is in jail because he decided to smoke weed and broke his probation. Now he's sitting in jail until the end of June. Like, come on. I mean, do you understand how many football players would wish to be in your position right now? Look at the guys in the UFL. Would love to be in your position. But they're playing in the UFL. And those guys are excited to play in that league. Don't get me wrong. You watch these guys play, they are committed. But they would have loved to be a number 1 overall pick for a team and be a guaranteed starter and get paid the way you get paid. Get your stuff together here. Understand the position you're in professionally. You can have fun and go out and do your thing, live life, all that stuff. Be smart about it. Come on now. You're a grown adult. Do you think that the consequences of doing stupid crap won't come with that just because of the position you're in? You're learning real quick. Doesn't matter who you are. The law doesn't care. They care about keeping their community safe. Simple as that. Players got to stop doing this stupid stuff. Seriously. Ending this on a sad note, former first-round pick in 2011 for the San Francisco 49ers. He was picked first round, 7th overall. Linebacker Aldon Smith passed away at the age of 36. The cause of death has yet to be disclosed. No announcement on what the cause of death was. Played from 2011 to 2014 for San Francisco, 2015 for the Raiders when they were in Oakland still. And then in 2020 with the Dallas Cowboys, played 75 games, 228 tackles, 172 solo, 56 assisted, 52.5 sacks in his career, 5 forced fumbles, 3 recoveries, and 1 interception. Thoughts and everything go out to the family of Aldon Smith. Sorry for your loss. This is never fun to talk about. It's always sad to talk about these players that pass away, especially at the age of 36. I'm about to be 40 this year. Okay, I turn 40 in a month. A month from today, I turn 40, and I sit thinking, like, I'm not in the greatest physical shape, and I'm trying my best to take care of myself. And what stinks is I just had a horrific experience last week. I'm healing. Last week, when you guys see me on Sunday, my hand was bandaged up. Now I'm down to just the finger. You kind of see, a little bit of marks on the hand. Got a bad bruise on my left arm in the back. I'll give you a little sneak peek. And a bruise on the back. On my leg is healing. It's nasty. But I'm healing. And I'm getting better. So I'm trying at my best to take care of myself. Now, I know unexpected things happen, and it's sad. It is very, very sad. And when I hear about players and young lives leaving this earth way too soon, it gets me reflecting on taking care of myself, because I'm only going to be 40 years old in July. Now, I know that's still young. People tell me all the time, Mike, you're still young. But the way I feel? No, I don't feel that way. And the only way I'm going to make myself feel that way is if I take care of myself at the best of my abilities. Right? So, but this is sad news. Thoughts, prayers, condolences, everything goes out to Aldon Smith's family. Again, cause of death has yet to be disclosed. And that don't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. Does that need to be released? No. Will it become public information? It will. But me and John have talked about this on an episode about a year ago. Stuff like that doesn't need to be released. No. Will it? Yes. But, it's just sad news, especially that young. It is. Very sad. So, all right, we're going to get into player spotlight. We're going to take another 15-second break. We got to kind of get the energy up after doing this new segment. So let's take about 15 to 30 seconds. Let's change the energy a little bit here on the Huddle Hub podcast. All right, we'll be right back. right, now hopefully the energy is raised, guys. As I always say, coming back from a break, just make sure you're heading over to the Huddle Hub Podcast on social media. TikTok, Instagram, X, Epic Studios. Follow YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And of course, over on Twitch, follow. All the social medias are in the Twitch bio. Help us build the Huddle Hub Podcast through the rest of the 2026 NFL offseason and beyond. Okay. Now we're changing the mood a little bit. We're going to get into player spotlight. Okay. Now, today's player spotlight, I got to raise myself here because this banner is way too big. And I can't place the banner anywhere else. Like, you would think it would give me the option to put the banner maybe up top. But it's not letting me. It's not letting me. And if I put it as a ticker, then it just does this. So it takes away my actual ticker, and I want to maybe if I do this, will it make another ticker up top? No, it does a different one. Okay. We're gonna get this right. Okay. You would think it would give me the option to do that as a standstill thing. I gotta get something to kind of boost myself up a little bit. Hold on. There we go. I got to get a new chair anyways. I think the next chair that I buy is going to be a chair that goes up and down because this chair does not do that, and it stinks. It stinks. So Bernaldo, this ain't a game. This is a podcast. This is a football podcast. So, I'm sorry. I appreciate you stopping in, though, and checking out the Huddle Hub Podcast. Thank you so much for joining. We are doing the spotlight of Larry Fitzgerald. So let's get started. Larry Fitzgerald was drafted in the first round, 3rd overall in 2004 by the Arizona Cardinals out of the University of Pittsburgh. He was a Pittsburgh Panther. Let's go down some of the awards and highlights for Larry Fitzgerald. First, he was a first-team All-Pro in 2008, second-team All-Pro in 2009 and 2011. He won the Walter Payton Man of the Year award in 2016. He's an 11-time Pro Bowler, 2005, 2007 through 2013, and 2015 through 2017. He also led the league in receptions in 2005 and 2016. He led the league in touchdowns, receiving touchdowns in 2008 and 2009. He's a part of the All-Decades team in the 2010s. He's part of the all-time team for the 100th anniversary. He also won some awards in college, but he won the Art Rooney Award in 2014 in the NFL. And then in college, he won the and this is all in 2003, the Biletnikoff Award, the Walter Camp Award, the Chick Harley Award, the Paul Warfield Award, the Unanimous All-American. He was college football's receiving yards leader and touchdowns leader in 2003, Big East Offensive Player of the Year, first team All Big East, and then he was voted first team All AP All-Time All-American in 2025. He had some records too in the NFL. He had the most reception yards in the NFL playoffs in 2008 with 546, and receiving touchdowns with 7. So Larry Fitzgerald breaking some records in the playoffs. Never raised the Lombardi Trophy. So he raised an NFC championship. That was it. They got to the Super Bowl, but did not win it. Okay. Let's get to the career stats for Larry Fitzgerald, okay? He played 263 total games in his career, 1,432 receptions, 2,053 targets. He had 17,492 career yards, 121 touchdowns, and in the playoffs, played 9 games, 57 catches, 942 yards, and 10 touchdowns all time in the playoffs. Those are his statistics. So, we're now going to do his rankings as far as seasons and how his from worst to best, just like we did with Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Now, our first player spotlight segment was Aaron Rodgers, and we ranked his seasons from worst to best. We did 22 seasons in the NFL for Aaron Rodgers. This is 22nd season going into 2026. Larry Fitzgerald played 17 seasons, all for the same team. You don't see that anymore. It's very rare to see a player stick with the same team for that amount of time. I would have to say the only player realistically that's doing it in this modern era is quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Got drafted in 2017. He's been a Chief for 9 years. 9 years. 10 years now. I mean, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. This is his 10th season with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, his contract originally was for, I believe, 15 years. Right? So 26, 27, 28, 29, or 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So 2031, his contract would have been up, and then he just added 2 more years to his contract through 2033. So he's probably one of the only players, if not the only player, in the modern era to stick with the same team for more than 10 seasons, along with Tom Brady. Because Tom Brady was a Patriot for long before he went to Tampa. So, yeah. But let's rank Larry Fitzgerald's seasons from worst to best, starting off with number 17. His worst season was in 2020. He had 54 catches, 72 targets, 409 yards, and 1 touchdown. At number 16, the 2018 season had 69 catches, 112 targets, 734 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Okay. At number 15, the 2004 season, which would be his rookie year. Or no, it wouldn't be his rookie year. Yeah, it would. It'd be his rookie year. 58 receptions, 780 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Okay. It didn't mention how many targets he had that year. But 58 catches. Still not a bad year. He had 780 yards, 8 touchdowns. Not bad, but it wasn't near even the top 10. At number 14, the 2014 season, 63 receptions, 103 targets, 784 yards, 2 touchdowns. At number 13, the 2012 season, 71 receptions, 153 targets, 798 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Okay. Now you're probably thinking, like, yeah, these later years are kind of some of the worst because, the career's starting to settle down and everything like that. And it's understandable. But, I mean, you look at these bottom, even from number 13 down, I mean, the 2018, the 2020 season, obviously back into the career. But then you look, the 2004 season, the 2014, the 2012, like, that's like peak career. That's like middle of his career. He should have been booming, but he wasn't. I don't believe he was dealing with injury at that time either. And if he was, I obviously didn't see anything about it, because I try and do my best research for these things before we really get into them. But, yeah. At number 12, the 2019 season, 75 receptions, 109 targets, 804 yards, 4 touchdowns. At number 11, the 2006 season, 69 receptions, 111 targets, 946 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Okay, now we're going to get into the top 10, his top 10 years in his career. At number 10, the 2013 season, 82 receptions, 136 targets, 954 yards, and 10 touchdowns. At number 9, the 2016 season, 107 receptions, 150 targets, 1,023 yards, and 6 touchdowns. At number 8, the 2009 season, 97 receptions, 153 targets, 1,092 yards, and 13 touchdowns. And the 2009 season, crazy enough, was his most touchdown receptions in his career. 13 touchdowns. So, at number 7, the 2010 season, 90 receptions, 174 yards, 174 targets, 1,137 yards, 6 touchdowns. At number 6, the 2017 season, 109 receptions, 161 targets, 1,156 yards, 6 touchdowns. At number 5, the 2015 season, 109 receptions, 145 targets, 1,215 yards, and 9 touchdowns. At number 4, the 2007 season, had 100 receptions for 167 targets, 1,409 yards, and 10 touchdowns. In 2005, the 2005 season was at number 3. Had 103 receptions, 1,409 yards, and 10 touchdowns. We get to the top 2. At number 2, 2011, 80 receptions, 153 targets, 1,411 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Okay. And the number 1 top season for Larry Fitzgerald was the 2008 season. 2008 season, 97 receptions, 154 targets, 1,431 yards, and 12 touchdowns. So there was 2 times he had over 10 touchdowns. I apologize on that. But still, his best season was in 2008 when it comes to, statistic-wise. 96 catches, 154 yards, 154 targets, 1,431 yards, 12 touchdowns. And then going back to the awards he won in 2008, he was a first-team All-Pro. He was also a Pro Bowler in 2008. He led the league in receiving touchdowns. And that's the 3 awards that he was given. So there is our player spotlight for Larry Fitzgerald. I love doing these segments. Why? Because I think it's the research. I'm a numbers guy. And I love doing these segments. And I plan on cutting these segments and putting it into our segment section on the Huddle Hub Podcast YouTube. So hopefully by Tuesday, I will have the Larry Fitzgerald one up. So, yeah. Hopefully. I'm going to do a quick cut of 2 quick cuts real quick for introduction and for ending on the Larry Fitzgerald. Today we are doing the spotlight segment on wide receiver. Oh my gosh, wow. Welcome everybody to the second installment of the player spotlight segment here on the Huddle Hub Podcast. Today we are doing Damn, I got to do that again. Welcome, everybody, to today's Player Spotlight segment here on the Huddle Hub Podcast. Today, we are talking about former Arizona Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald. Let's get into it. Thank you guys for watching this Player Spotlight segment on former Arizona Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald. Join us for the next one. I got to do that again. Thank you for joining us here for this Player Spotlight on former Arizona Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and join us for the next one. One more time. Thank you for watching this edition of the Player Spotlight segment on former oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm going to do that one more time. You know what? I'll do this in post. That's okay. I'll do this in post. We got to get the hell out of here. Okay. Guys, that's it for the Huddle Hub Podcast, the Sunday edition of the Huddle Hub Podcast today. Thank you so much. Again, make sure you're heading over to the Huddle Hub Podcast over on social media, over on TikTok, Instagram, X, and on Epic Studios at the Huddle Hub Pod. Over on YouTube, you're going to hit that subscribe button. And over on the Twitch channel, you're going to hit that follow button. All the social media outlets are in the Twitch bio. Just click on the one you desire to go to. Help us build the Huddle podcast through the rest of the 2026 NFL offseason and beyond. If you want to follow me, TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube at MetalMike714. Okay, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I will be back for the Tuesday edition of the Huddle Up Podcast. I have a fun segment planned out for the Tuesday edition already, and it's defining numbers. Okay, teams defining numbers. Now, I will admit that I took this information for this from a website. I'll admit that. Okay, I'll admit I took this information from a website, but I want to talk about it. I want to get into talking about each team's defining number. Okay, so I have the reason why this number defines them and the person that wrote the article and everything like that, but I want to get into talking about it. Okay, so that is the reason why we are doing it. So come join me for the Tuesday edition of the Huddle Up Podcast. We're going to have all the news coming out of the world of football in the next 2 days. We're going to do this defining numbers, and then going to start putting together the next player spotlight segment for either Tuesday or next Sunday. Okay, because the player spotlight segment was made for Tuesdays, but we did it today because I held off the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to try and get another player spotlight segment put together for Tuesday. If not, then we can either save it for Sunday or next Tuesday. Be good to each other. Be kind to each other. Take care of each other. Be patient with each other. Remember, the world is not moving as fast as you think. Until Tuesday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Huddle Podcast. You guys have a great rest of your weekend, great Sunday, and we'll see you Tuesday. Deuces.